Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, it's we're having some technical difficulties with streaming and all of that, but the mics are working so far. So we will go ahead and begin our meeting. Thank you for coming. This is the Carson Planning Commissioners meeting. I told a little joke last time, but this is Carson, so if you're in the wrong city, you may now leave. All right, that's the last time I'm telling that one. So yes, we're calling the meeting to order officially, and we will begin with our Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm going to ask Commissioner Del Huff if she will lead us in the pledge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening. Will everyone stand, please? Face the flag. Put your right hand over your heart, and if you will recite with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you very much. Madam Secretary, we'll have our roll call.
Madam Chair Thomas.
Here.
Vice Chair Diaz.
Present.
Commissioner Tactaso.
Present.
Commissioner Guerra.
Present.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Here.
Commissioner Huff.
Here.
Commissioner Mfume.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Wilson.
Present.
Commissioner Monteclaro is absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Next, we have oral communications for matters not on the agenda. Madam Secretary, do we have any speakers for items that are not on the agenda?
None, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Next, we have oral communications for non-public hearing items listed on the agenda. Do we have any speakers for non-public hearing items?
None, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. The next item we have on the agenda is our consent calendar. We have approval of the minutes for July 9th, 2024.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd like to make a correction to those minutes, please.
Go.
I was not present at the meeting, and it is not reflected.
Okay, and as I look at it, it's showing that Commissioner Mfume was not here, but she was here. And Commissioner Huff was absent. So hearing that correction, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved in second, moved by Vice Chair Diaz, second by Commissioner Dr. Ossel. Yes.
Just to clarify that that's to move to approve with the revisions.
With the revisions, yes. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Roll call.
Madam Chair Thomas.
Yes.
Vice Chair Diaz. Commissioner Tactaso.
Yes.
Commissioner Guerra.
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Yes.
Commissioner Huff.
Abstain.
Commissioner Mfume.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carries 8-0.
Thank you.
8 yes, 1 abstained.
Yeah,
Correction.
excellent. Okay, the next item we have is item 7A. It is a public hearing matter. And we have our assistant planner, Jacob Collins, who was to present on this. We have a note. Do you want to speak, Jacob?
Yeah, good evening.
Good
Madam
evening. Go
Chair
right
and
ahead.
Commissioners. Staff is recommending that the commission continues this item without opening the public hearing. Staff is gathering additional information before finalizing its recommendation for this project. Once it's ready to come back to the commission, we'll renotice the project to the residents 750 feet surrounding the park.
Okay, so the request is that this particular item be continued until further information is gathered. I want to say to Veronica Garcia, who is here to speak on this item, that we will not be opening the public hearing. for this item until that information has been gathered. And then it will be renoticed. And then at that time, you can come back at that time and we will open the public hearing, okay? Sure, go ahead. When will it be noticed? Well, what's going to happen is they've got to gather some more information. So at this time, we don't actually have a date, but it will be noticed. It will be publicized just as it was before. Any mailings that need to go out will go out. It will be just like brand new.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're expecting it to be in August at some point, with either the first or second meeting. And it'll be, yeah, a notice goes out to the school as well.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being understanding. And if we're all here, we'll see you next time. Take care. Okay, and with that, we are now looking at item 7B. And I will open the, allow our senior planner, Gerard Coleman, who will be giving us a presentation on item 7B. So Gerard, Mr. Coleman, I like to call people by their first name. Yeah, y'all forgive me on that one. So Gerard, the floor is yours.
Hello, good evening, Madam Chair and Commission. Just letting you know, I lost my voice about 2 days ago. I was so excited to be here. So I was screaming for joy. So if my voice is a little lower, just bear with me a little bit. All right. So the item before you tonight is for the consideration of the approval for the design overlay review number 1944-23 for the construction of a new single-story modular control building that is 2,626 square feet with 8 new parking spaces, including 1 accessible with 25 total parking spaces provided, and a new conduit power trench to be connected to the existing power distribution center on the 8.4 acre site at 23300 Alameda Street. Tonight's presentation will be as follows. I will give you a brief introduction to the project. We'll have a project walkthrough where I'll showcase the project area, and then I'll lead us to the project plans. And then finally, as noticed, I'll give the staff's recommendation for the design overlay review 1944-23, which I will conclude my presentation and allow for you guys to have discussion. Thank you. So to begin, the project, as mentioned, is previously located at 23300 Alameda Street, which borders the Dominguez Channel. The project surrounding the proposed area, which is the open space, and a variant of heavy industrial zoning, which is either MHD for the heavy industrial design overlay, or MH, which is just the heavy industrial. These surrounding properties include Marathon, Loveco Recycle, South Pacific Transportation Company, to name a few. The project itself is located within an existing hydrogen specialty gas facility currently owned by Air Products and Chemicals Incorporated that was established in 1998. Essentially the 8.4 property, as you notice right there, like I said before, is the heavy manufacturing design overlay, and the general plan use designation is heavy industrial. This project is located in District 4. As you notice, the project is actually located within that red square. That's where it will be placed. And this project has access off of Alameda for its ingress and egress. So here's the proposed site plan with the aerial layered underneath, showcasing the proposed modular control building within the context of the site. This is further being displayed via the existing view corridors, where at location 1, this is leading you to the main entrance, where the security gate is shown to you. As you get to at location 2, once you enter and begin to travel down the private access way, you will come upon location 3, which is the existing power distribution center. Now, to display how this comes together, I'll provide you a point of view experience, like if you were entering the secure space as provided by the applicant, in this next slide. So please enjoy this exclusive look at a secure area. And there's no audio for this. But essentially, this is our applicant walking through, signing into the gate, calling over to the security to get permission to be entered. And then once he calls through, they respond and then give him the okay to enter, in which they will remotely let the gate be opened. And this next video will show you kind of a walk through the site itself. So as you're walking through, you're noticing the specialty gas facility and the hydrogen tanks. And then as you make your way around the private access road, he's going to come up to the power distribution center, which will be straight ahead on the left. Like I said, this is a secure area. The public is not allowed in this space. It's only allowed if you have an appointment or by the company itself. So like I said, this is the power distribution center, and then coming up is the existing control room building, and which is going to be converted to a storage building. And on the left, you'll be noticing that it's exactly the site of where the new modular control building will be placed. And then it's a loop, so then you would exit at that far security gate. So these are the project plans, as I mentioned. So this is kind of the loop that you go through. This is a new 2,626 square foot modular building, control building, that will be added on site to replace the current control building of the hydrogen facility. 8 new parking spaces will be added along with the new modular control building, including 1 new ADA parking stall for a total of 2 within the 25 parking spaces on site. The existing control buildings with storage, which is 6,830 square feet, being converted to just storage with the construction of the new modular control building. The new iron rod fencing to continue along with Alameda Street will be installed along Alameda, as well as 2 new security gates being constructed in the same material. On site, there will also be screening walls built to cover the ground-mounted mechanical equipment that's in front of the modular control building, so it would not be seen from the public right away. On this site, there's also existing landscaping on site totaling about 7,477 square feet, which will be maintained and refreshed as necessary by the Air Products and Chemicals Incorporation for this project. And then this is just a closer view at the actual new modular control building on the right. Emphasizes showcasing in orange the control room itself. And then on the left is the screen wall, which is protecting the mechanical equipment, just for a closer view. This is the existing control and storage building being converted to completely storage, and also showcasing the 2 gates that are being replaced. Now, on to the project vision. So this is actually the site in Torrance, just to give you a perspective. I know with the elevations and the plans were kind of gray, so I wanted to give you guys an actual visualization of the building itself. So this is the under construction when it was in Torrance plant. It shows you the actual, one of the ideas of the final product, as well as an indoor perspective of the control room itself. For public notice, that was posted on site. It was mailed properly to all the property owners and occupants within a 750 square feet radius by July 10th, 2024. An agenda was posted 22 hours before hearing. Now, staff recommendation is to approve a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Carson approving the site plan and design review number 1944-23 for the development of a new modular control building at 2,626 square feet and associated improvements located at 23300 Alameda Street. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I am real excited. Yeah. Obviously, you couldn't have any music with it because we needed to listen to you, but that was really good.
Yes. And also the applicant is here if any further questions need to be asked.
Yes, yes. So you got new things happening. I get excited with new things. It doesn't take much. Yeah, I just get excited. That's very good. So at this time, to my colleagues, anyone have any questions of Mr. Coleman? You have questions?
Just a comment, excellent presentation.
Thank you.
So I have a question. Yes, I do. I'm on this rampage right now. And I'm on this rampage about chain link fences, et cetera, because you can still see through them from the street. And you mentioned a wall that would give us a limited amount of visibility to the facilities there.
So essentially, they're replacing all the chain link fencing that's along Alameda Street.
Mm-hmm.
They're replacing it with the wrought iron fencing that you've noticed on multiple properties across Alameda Street. And they're replacing their security gates. And then the screening walls for the ground-mounted air conditioning units and mechanical equipment that will be in front, so then you don't see that from the public right away. But the building is pretty far set back,
Right.
so you probably would not see that from Alameda Street. But this is just the precautionary as well.
Yeah, I've seen the wrought iron fencing. Of course, I spent some time over there because I always do. And Alameda just gives me the cringes. I was very impressed with the lighting because it looked really nice, but that's not how Alameda looks. You know, you go over there and you feel like you've gone to the dark side. You have gone into the dark side with all of the black dirt and all of the stuff that's over there. So I'm always excited when they're doing something new. I'm excited about this. One of the things that we have been recommending is that with the chain link fences, we're looking to, in places where they exist now, and I know some people like wrought iron, but you can still see through the wrought iron. Just a thought, with the chain link fences, you can now have those slats in there, and those slats could be whatever color you like to add some more beautification to it. And I know it's Alameda, but it doesn't have to be so dingy, and you know what it looks like. And so I would like to, ask, and I'm talking loud enough for the applicant to hear, to perhaps think about that and give that some consideration, even though when you go further down Alameda, I've seen the wrought iron. I know what they got going on there. But they're doing some beautiful things with these chain link fences with these slats in them that make things look really nice, And so every time I go down there, when we have a project down there, I start looking for things to look better, and they can look better. But thank you for your presentation. And I do believe I have a card from the applicant, and so we'll ask if the applicant can come up, and I think I have to open the public hearing at this point, right? So I will officially open up the public hearing, and we're going to ask, is it Tony? Tommy. Tommy. It is Tommy. Tommy Riley, come forward.
Thank you, and good evening, Commissioner Thomas, Vice Chair, or Chair Thomas, Vice Chair Diaz, and members of the Commission. Appreciate the opportunity to be here and to speak with you. We really just wanted to let you know we were here. We appreciate all the staff work that went into preparing this, and we have a few people here. If the question, now that I know there's not a lot of questions, it may not be important, but we do have folks here that could answer questions should they come up. And finally, we would be very pleased to change out the wrought iron for a chain link with slats, but that's up to the city, and we're not going to get in the middle of that. But that would be, like you said, it would be more visually concealing. So, thank you.
I'm still working on them. They're shaking their heads no, but
Thank you.
we shall see. I appreciate you coming. Before you sit down, though, any questions of the applicants from my colleagues?
quick question, if I may.
Go right ahead, Commissioner
in-
Guerra.
Yes, in regards to the wrought iron fence, I could be mistaken, but I thought that there was a mesh-type mechanism to be attached to the wrought iron. Am I not correct?
I would have to look to staff. I don't remember being that a part of the requirement. As I understand it, it's just a wrought iron fence to be consistent with what's happening as you go down the Alameda.
So I
Not
think what he's
complete,
asking is there such a thing? And if you haven't looked into it, it's okay. You don't have to feel like you should have looked into all of that.
I haven't looked into it in terms of if there's any mesh that can be put within the wrought iron, but it's something that we can take a look into.
Did you hear that, or did that phone go off right at that time?
No, I did hear. I just wanted to add to your concerns, which are mine, obviously, as well. But wrought iron is attractive, and if they have a mesh-type mechanism attached to the wrought iron fence, that would be more visibly pleasing, in my opinion. And I am complete, Chairperson Thomas.
I think we also have some landscaping there that might help.
Love the landscaping. I mean, they tend to think that because it's on Alameda, they don't need, and the tracks are right across the street. I really don't like that area, but it's good for what you're trying to do.
Right.
And I appreciate the efforts for beautification. Wrought iron is good. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just trying not to see past the wrought iron. Is that fair? Is that fair? Chris, is that fair?
That's fair.
All right, y'all work that out. Thank you, I appreciate you.
Madam Chair, can I
Yes.
chime in here?
Yes.
So the relevant condition that I think you're interested in is condition number 1 under fence and landscaping in section 3 of the conditions of approval.
Yes.
And it says developers shall remove existing chain link fencing, including barbed and concertina wire, and replace it with decorative wrought iron fencing all along their front property line on Alameda Street prior to final planning inspection and building certificate of occupancy for the modular control building. So it doesn't say anything about mesh. It just says decorative wrought iron fencing. Decorative, that's the norm, I think, that the normal language that we use, decorative wrought iron fencing. So if there's a change desired to that, you would need to change it in the conditions of approval.
That sounds good to me. That sounds good to you?
Just confirm that there is quite a bit of landscaping that will be in front of the wrought iron. So to some degree, there'll be some minimizing of the visual.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I do go back to these projects once they've been approved and they start working. I do go back to see what what it's looking like. Are we seeing some improvement, et cetera, et cetera? And I get excited when I go back and I see that, yeah, it's looking better. I encourage all of my colleagues, when you have a moment, to do that with some of the projects that we have approved. That is the only speaker's card that I have. Do you have any others, Madam Secretary?
None, Madam Chair.
Is there anyone else who is in the audience who would like to speak before we close the public hearing? Okay, seeing none, the public hearing is officially closed. And with that, I will open the floor to my colleagues. Anyone have any comments, thoughts? Y'all really want to get out of here tonight, huh? I'm loving it. Okay. Vice Chair.
No comments. I'm ready to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion to approve the project as was presented in its entirety. That's my motion. I think it's a great project.
Okay, it's been moved by Vice Chair Diaz and second by Commissioner Hernandez.
Madam
Yes.
Chair, may I request a clarification?
Yes.
That the motion is to approve staff's recommendation?
That is correct.
Thank you.
And you second that as well, right? Commissioner, yes. Okay. So it's been moved and second, and we're ready for the vote.
Madam Chair Thomas,
Yes.
Vice Chair Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Tactazo,
Yes.
Commissioner Guerra,
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Huff,
Yes.
Commissioner Nfume,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
Motion carries 9-0.
Okay, thank you very much. Next we have on the agenda is the manager's report.
Thank you. Part of our award-winning economic development strategic plan was to come up with an online portal for permit submittals and paying bills online, and all part of a expedite process to get permits and plans in and out of our offices quicker. So what I would like to do at this time is pass the microphone to my star quarterback, the project manager of implementation for this particular project, Makina Alexander.
Thank you, Chris, for a great introduction. I have to say that this load that was tasked for our team about 2 years ago was carried heavily by Richard Garcia as well as Jacob Coleman, who you'll hear speak shortly. I also want to mention that the rest of our planning staff, they also dedicated, I would say, hundreds of hours to make sure this project looks great and has the information that's needed, not only for the citizens, but also for the efficiency within our division. And to kind of piggyback on what Chris said, yes, we have Carson Civic Access that launched in April. This is an online permitting process for building and safety, planning, as well as engineering with their encroachment permits. And we're really excited about it. I don't want to speak too much longer because I know Richard and Jacob has a lot to say or to kind of do further introductions to the program. Just a couple more things. Chris kind of also described we now can pay online through this process. The citizen, once they register their project, they can monitor their projects anytime, any day, on any device throughout the year. We have direct communication through it. So this is a wonderful, wonderful portal that, again, was launched recently, and we're looking for evolution with other divisions, hopefully to join us. We're trying to recruit business license, code enforcement, so forth. We're trying to recruit them. Hopefully we'll land them. But however, for now, we do have building and safety, the planning division, as well as engineering with the encroachment permits. And with that, Richard Garcia, our assistant planner.
Good evening. Hi, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Just to piggyback off the information you've been provided, so we're here to present our new online submittal portal, Carson Civic Access, and we have a few videos that we want to present to you guys. They're educational videos. The first one is going to be a little overview of the program itself. Makina and Chris both touch bases on some of the capabilities of it, but we can go ahead and show you guys the first video just to take a look. And to follow up with that, again, I'd like to mention we're working on educational videos that we will have available for the public. they will be on the website or the homepage that we have for the Civic Access. So anybody that needs help or wants to further instructions, we have worksheets or PDFs that we have available. And we have one sample video. It's about 1.5 minutes. It's not too long. So it's how everybody would get started registering. So that would be the next video that's going to play right now. So you guys the one you will be watching will be the how to register, but while we get this up, I would mention, so like I said, we are working on other ones, so we want to be a little more extensive. We do have another one that should be finalized by the end of this week or next week and be published on the website. There would be step-by-step on how to actually apply. So it'll take the applicant from beginning to end on everything and every step that would be. The specific one that would be posted would be for planning. Everybody starts with planning. But the overall scheme of it will be very similar for other departments, whether it's building and safety for permits or engineering. It'll just be different information that gets captured.
The City of Carson's Civic Access Portal. To register, navigate to the municipality's access site. Click Login or Register in the top right corner of the page, or click the My Account card on the page. If not registered, click Create an Account on the bottom of the page. The application will display the Create an Account page. Fill in email, first name, then last name, and create a password. The password must include at least 8 characters, a lowercase letter, an uppercase letter, a number. No parts of the username can be used. You will receive an email containing your account. Type in or copy and paste the verification code back on the Civic Access portal to verify your account. You will be redirected to the next registration process. Click on Continue to validate and create your profile. Select a contact preference from the drop-down and enter the required phone numbers, then click Next. Type address information and submit. Congratulations, you have now successfully registered to the City of Carson's Civic Access Portal. Welcome to the City of Carson's.
And with that, I will hand it over to my colleague Jacob Collins, who has been hand in hand working alongside us for this process.
One question, please. I noticed on there it did ask for a mobile number. Is that a required field?
It's optional. That's right. It's optional. So, yeah, just to continue jumping off on some more points here. When I checked today, this portal released on June 4th, we have roughly 540 registered users, so there's already been a lot of users using it. How do I get this? So here the Carson residents can access the portal using the link or the QR code here at the bottom. We kind of have a handout we've been giving out to everyone that comes to the planning counter, letting them know that they can access the portal using that QR code, and we also have the link. There's also a link on our planning webpage. There's a link on the City of Carson homepage. And as McKenna and Richard and Chris have all mentioned, we've been working on this for 2 years. I've been here for 1.5 years, and I've been working on it the whole time I've been here. So we're pretty knowledgeable in the system, so we definitely recommend if any questions arise, definitely reach out to the planning staff, and we'd be happy to help out with anything. With that concludes our presentation. Thank you.
Okay, that's excellent, excellent. Any questions from my colleagues? They're queuing up. Ooh.
Madam Chair,
Ooh.
I just want to say congratulations. It reminds me of things that, how did we get along? How did we get along without these things? It's simplifying it, that it makes it very convenient to us. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Hernandez. Anyone else?
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I just want to jump on that too. This is yes, it's on. This is absolutely wonderful. It's like coming out of the dark ages. It's been a long time, and I've done a lot of interaction with planning and permits or whatever in our city before, and I know that there was a real bog down and a long period of time to wait. So congratulations. And McKinnon, you don't look quite as happy this evening as you normally do, but this is certainly a pat on the back for all of you in planning. Thank you.
Yes, I definitely echo my colleagues. Congratulations, to the entire planning team. I've actually had a couple of my, our constituents inquire about getting permits from the city, and I didn't give too much details about this, but I did direct them to the planning website. So I'll definitely ensure that they, don't have any additional questions. But this, it basically answered the question that they had about how to access this. So very opportune timing. Hats off to you all for doing this. Thank you.
They like to keep turning my mic off. Anyone else? Any other questions, comments?
I did want to congratulate the staff and acknowledge the importance of moving projects and permits and processes along. I did want to ask if this is only an archive and database moving forward, or does it archive like past projects and plans as well?
Okay. Commissioner Johnson, thank you. So basically, as of June 4th, our new applications are within EPNL. We thought it most efficient that the projects that were already submitted and also already been reviewed and going back and forth in the previous way, to keep it there unless they're larger projects. So I hope that answered your question. Again, moving forward as of June, all new applications are through EPNL, with the exception of maybe a few of our larger projects. We enter those in what we call the back office by staff to kind of get a feel for those in the process. But a lot of the other projects that were already in the mode of the previous way of reviewing will be completed out that way.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. Anyone else?
I have one other question. It's not specifically to this project, but my last knowledge was that we contracted our inspectors through the county. Do we still do that? Or do we have our own?
Oh, we have in-house staff. They are contracted, but they work for the city of Carson.
Okay. Thank you.
And if I can add also, Commissioner Dossel, on each one of our web pages, planning, building and safety, as well as engineering, there's links. And there's also a link, as Jacob mentioned, we also have a main page dedicated on our city website. If you go to, I believe it's the government tab, you'll see Carson Access, Civic Access there as well.
Thank you. Thank you. No other questions?
Quick question, if I
Yes,
may.
Commissioner Guerra.
Again, I'm just sort of curious. Does this include the soil analysis? Would I be correct that it provides that opportunity for that issue?
That would be a little more specific to things that are captured in the building and safety division. So it would come down to how they have their site configured. For us, when we have exterior agencies that have to review for us, we do have something in our workflows where we capture the responses or the reviews. So my assumption would be that theirs is very similar in regards to where they can capture that information, but it wouldn't be directly submitted through the portal.
Thank you. Complete, Madam Chair.
So just for clarification, we know it's the planning department, but how many other departments have come on board? Have any come on board? Or what do we have now?
So we're confirmed. So currently live, we have planning department, the building and safety department, and engineering. And we're, like Chris mentioned, McKenna mentioned, we're in the works to try to get business license incorporated and code enforcement.
Okay. So let me ask a question, and this is hypothetical, because we have, certain streets that have the speed bumps, for example. And if there's a street where the community around that street decide that they want to have a speed bump, would they be able to utilize this system to put that request in, because that has to go through engineering?
If engineering has an application or a request that they can do through the portal for that, then yes.
Okay.
We don't know all the applications that they incorporated.
Right. And if it's something where there is not an application in the system for that thing, then they would still have to come into City Hall?
And speak with someone, yes, but do you want to piggyback off a little bit?
I want to kind of clarify that answer. Engineering services is set up for their encroachment permits only right now through EPL. Anything outside of that, you'll go through the same process, whether it's calling them or coming in person or whatever their process is. However, they are working very hard to incorporate the other processes into Carson Civic Access, so stay tuned. It is evolving.
Excellent, excellent. And I wanted to say that because we're not even streaming, so they're not seeing this right now, are they? But nevertheless, it gives us information so that if we're approached by, and as Commissioner Dr. also said he was, but we kind of have an idea of what we can share with the neighborhood because we will get all kinds of questions about all types of applications. And so a work in progress is a good answer. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I applaud you. Yes, I love it. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. Do you have anything further?
I am complete. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Assistant City Attorney Jones.
Just want to commend the staff for all their hard work on that. I didn't do much work on that. That was all the staff. And it does bring the city out of the dark ages and helps the city comply with application processing timelines and things of that nature. I'm excited. I almost want to apply now, even though I don't even live in Carson. So it's just very tempting to apply now. So that's a great job by staff.
Thank you. It's a good day. It's a good day. So with that, we will open the floor to our commissioners for whatever oral communications they have. I started to my right last time. I'll start to my left this time. Commissioner Wilson.
Good evening, colleagues. I guess my neighbor here encouraged me to mention this. So we have our National Night Out event on August the 7th from 5 to 8. It's always a wonderful event in all of our communities across really the state and the country. This is a big day. People come out, so I guess I want to remind everyone about that event that'll be here at the Sheriff's Department. Yeah, thank you. That was it.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Dagdaso.
So I actually had a couple of reports earlier, but one was already answered, and then the second one has already been mentioned with the community night out. Definitely encourage everybody to attend that. But speaking of community events, I mentioned last time that that we had the opportunity to help host or co-host the Philippine Independence Day celebration a few weeks ago, and I'm just curious if there's a way to expedite. Unfortunately, there's some delays with regards to like procuring the media of the event. I don't know if Attorney Jones can answer this, but my understanding is there's a process involved with that, and we did that process, but there are still delays at this point. What would be the best way that we can get things moving in terms of being able to secure the coverage of the celebration for our community to be able to view and to enjoy?
Well, I'd be happy to speak with you, Commissioner, after the meeting about that and get you the information that you need on that. Okay.
Thank you so much. And that completes me. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Huff.
Good evening again. The first thing is game changer. The Sheriff's Department is trying very hard to working with other organizations to change, I guess, the way business is done in Carson. And when I say business, it's meant how we handle how can I say, any crimes or things that are happening. I had the pleasure, I guess, of attending one of those meetings last week, even though it ended up pretty lengthy. It was some awfully good information there. There are going to be sending, I guess, notifications where you can look and read and come up to speed on some of those things that they are actually approaching. There is also a expungement Carson 24 that's happening Thursday at our community center for some of those that have a record and are trying to clean up a bit to find better employment or whatever. That's what it is, expungement and a job fair. So you might want to, I'm sorry that I don't have the flyer or whatever, but we may want to pass the word, because that's a wonderful opportunity for our young people and our old people to kind of clean up and be able to qualify for some higher paying jobs or just get employment, period. That's on this Thursday. So I thank you. That's all I have. Hopefully that puts something out there. If you call the community center, they have information on all of that. Thank you. Complete.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Guerra.
Thank you, Chairperson Thomas. Oddly enough, I'm getting my roof done, and I already pulled the permits in person the old-fashioned way. But hopefully it would facilitate an expeditious inspection of my roof so I could move on. And once again, thank you for all the hard work our fellow commissioners do, and of course our amazing staff and legal counsel. Thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you. And now Commissioner Johnson.
I did want to touch on I think Madam Chair mentioned the process for speed bumps. It's a public works process. If you reach out to that department, they'll give you the details, and it's a pretty specific list of things to do to get it in certain areas. Outside of that, happy to be here, happy to see progress being made and steps made to speed things up in the future. That's big.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Mpume.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I have a question regarding the on 213th Street. There's the street is really broken up, and I was just wondering if there are any plans on repairing the street. I notice cars are swerving to try to avoid the breakage in the streets, and that's on 213th, starting at Avalon, up until Selwyn Drive. So, are there any plans to repair the street, or should I contact someone, or can I go into civic access?
Yeah, there are plans to redo all the streets, and it is definitely on the list. I can't tell you what date it is. There was a mailer that went out to all the residents. I thought that listed, showed what streets were next and what date they expected to get to it and all of that. And it didn't cover all of the streets, but there will probably be another one coming up. So if that was not on that list, that means it's coming up. But you can always go to Public Works and contact Arlington. He's over first names. That's all I got for you. Okay.
I appreciate that.
I'm happy I remember that. But anyway, yes, contact Public Works. Arlington is the what is he, the director?
Okay.
And they'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And also want to thank the staff. You guys are amazing. I miss my commission. Everyone is here tonight. I was so surprised I had to go to each one and give some love to them. So glad to see you guys. And congratulations to the applicants. Thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you, Commissioner Hernandez.
Madam Chair, thank you. Just an additional comment to the speed bumps. I attended a town hall meeting, and the sheriff department was there together with the rest of them. And they said that the street, that block, the residents have to all go into a petition to get those speed bumps. That's just an ad thing. And the other thing I want to say is that we have some exciting things happening in the voting for our president. And we all know people who registered to vote, people that are registered to vote and don't vote, especially people that don't register at all or don't vote. So I just want to encourage everybody to get out there and vote. It's an exciting time. With that, I'm complete.
Thank you so much. Vice Chair Diaz.
Madam Chair Thomas, thank you. First of all, to my colleagues, again, thank you for the wonderful work that you do here. Staff, I think we all mention that each and every meeting. This time our city attorney didn't have to answer a lot of legal questions. But for the applicants that come before us, and in particular this evening, Air Products, thank you for sticking around also to the conclusion here. But thank you for the wonderful presentation, and keep Carson moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And so, we're looking good. My heart was broken and saddened by the loss of a staff member here at the City of Carson, an employee. His name was Solomona, and Mo and I went back a long time. I met Mo doing special events here in the city, and he, along with Colleen, worked very closely together with the crew, and they would set up everything, whether it was the Filipino Independence Day, Jazz Festival, Juneteenth. If it was happening, Mo was there. And we lost Mo last week while on the job. He passed out and never regained consciousness. I won't say what happened because I don't know, and so I don't want to put anything out there, but he will truly be missed, and I do want to offer condolences to his family, let them know that our prayers are with them. I'm sure they will be notifying the city of the arrangements at some time, and for those of you who may have known him, then hopefully you will get that information, or it'll be on our city website. And if you decide to attend the services, whatever that may be, that we will support the family in that effort. He was an incredible guy, and we always had a great time. He leaves to mourn him his wife and 4 children. And he was just a hard-working guy, and he was a good guy and easy to get along with. So our hearts are broken, and we offer our condolences. And then on an up note, thank you for your project. Thank you for coming to Carson. I, too, want to commend the staff on all that is going on. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and they work feverishly to make these meetings seem so easy. That's why I have to poke a little fun here and there just to lighten the moment. But they are to be commended. Our Assistant City Attorney Ben Jones, and of course our very apt Laura, who is our secretary. She takes care of us. And to my fellow commissioners, thank you for continuing to give your time to come to these meetings and continue to do what we do to make this city a better place. So with that, we are adjourned.